Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name's Terry, and my channel is Holding Your Space. And this is Dr. Gail, Skywalking with Moon.
Hi, everybody.
And that's Terry again, still talking. Hello. And this is our good friend, Diana Oilpntr.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome, everybody. So today we are going to be talking about Gail's new book. So, How I Met an Alien. And it's amazing. It's all about aliens, and it is not fiction. It is science fiction, but because you couldn't do anything about where you were going to put it, right? Or
right. Everybody who's experiences have trouble finding a category to put their book in. So mine went under memoirs and science fiction, and I can't remember the other term. But people don't have a category. Experiences don't have categories.
Yeah, not fair, man. Not fair. They'll figure that out pretty soon. Anyway, so once again, I read this book in record time. I think it took me about 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
I sat down with it and went, vroom. So, yeah. And it was really incredible. So this one's a little different than the last one. And I think in this one, you went more into depth on how you were feeling when you first started interacting with ETs.
Well, I'm glad to, because I haven't talked to anybody who's read it and see what the reaction was, but I know this book was a little more serious than my first book. And going into, I think it's also, I was in a more leadership diplomatic role, whereas before I was doing a lot of being the student. And so I think that was a big difference also.
Yeah, assessing and healing and all the other things. Instead of being the student, you were definitely on board.
You were a boss.
At the captain's seat.
Yeah, they just kind of threw you in there as an interplanetary liaison.
Right. You should have, when they told me that was my title, that's how my last book ended. I had no idea what that was. I'm going, I'm interplanetary liaison. What is that? And then going, no, it's a diplomatic position. You're going to go to different planets and stars, listen to their issues and problems, and then bring it back to the Galactic Federation. It sounded simple. It sounded like an easy job, but it sure was not an easy job.
Wow. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it was. It seems like a lot of people were coming to you, and some of the areas that you went to weren't easy. And of course, you weren't in your human body going in there usually.
Most of the time I was in my human body. I was in my human body wearing my Galactic Federation uniform, so they knew who I was.
So were you walking like in the 5D or 6D? Because I would think that the areas on a lot of the planets that you were going to.
Yeah, that's right. But even when you're saying it's me, it's usually I'm walking in a body of a younger me. So whenever I am going out and doing these jobs, if I am taking on my form, it's usually a younger me. That's a form that I've taken on, but it is me. So yeah, I walk into a younger body, more youthful body, and a body that can do a lot.
Sign me up. Guys, I'm ready.
Exactly.
For sure.
I like that. So how did your body feel afterwards, after the meetings with everybody? Like,
well, a lot of times, my issue is usually nausea, and I'm having to eat bread for a few days afterwards because I have, a physical reaction to some of these jobs and the interaction with some of these extraterrestrials. My physical reaction is usually nausea, and my go-to is, because I learned that in the very beginning when they told me to go on a bland diet, and after I went on that bland diet for 5 days, and after I finished, it was even worse than before. I could only eat bread. That was the only thing I could tolerate for days afterwards, and that's very similar to this. That whenever it was very high vibrational being or something that it was tough to be around, it affects me and my GI system, and I'm nauseated and can only tolerate eating bread for a few days.
Yeah. Wow. So, Diana, did you feel like it activated you too, like when you were doing the paintings and the illustrations?
Yes. I mean, I can relate because I can't say all of them, but so many of the characters that she has come in contact with, I have seen. And my own little twiddly dumb journeys in my dreams that I tell you about
They're
over and
amazing.
over again, right?
Yeah, amazing.
And it's just amazing. And this goes back to when we first got together on this, because that was when she was introducing me to some of the characters that she had seen and met. And I can remember with Borgoff, the frog, I when she said that, I went, oh my God, I've seen him. I've seen him all the time when I go down to the cove that I walk the dogs at. He's there almost all the time. So I've already encountered them. And then when I would paint them and she'd say, oh, that's exactly what Melky looks like. It's like, well, I must have seen her. That blue figure with the jello head makes perfect sense to me.
That's funny. So,
well, and that, Terry, that is part of the reason I wrote Diana on, is because she was able to translate, because she had also seen these figures too, or either was channeling the information from me, is that she could put it on paper, what I was seeing.
well, that's interesting because a lot of what you do is all telepathic.
Right.
With the extraterrestrials, and I know Diana is so telepathically gifted.
Thank you.
That so
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it telepathically receiving information from them.
Yeah, but you're giving them information too, right?
What was that? Oh yeah, they're getting information from me also, especially when I was doing the second book. I was going to the Galactic Federation and reporting on what my findings are. Of course, Earth had the most complaints of anybody, but
we like it.
Yeah,
to complain.
But I was more familiar with the beings on Earth, and it didn't affect me as much as going to say. I would say the one that was the scariest was the planet or the star system that I was having to dodge lightning. That was very scary.
Yeah, that one was wild.
Yeah, that was with the giant, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, and then holding on to their ankle while it walked. I was just like, I could just like Gulliver's Travels, right?
Well, yeah. And after I did the picture, and I was having trouble with that picture because I wanted her to be in it. And then after I put it aside and left it as it was, Gail says, take me out of it. So I did. But then I thought, I should have done that. Exactly the one that you had suggested here is to have her on his foot. That would have been good enough.
Yeah. And we'll pull that one up here real quick. I think it's on here.
Yeah. It's up. It's in the second row at the very end.
Yeah, that one, Diana was having trouble getting the scaling right of how big he was compared to me. And so that was when I finally told her, I said, just take me out of it.
Okay. Yeah. But it was beautiful. Really nice. So, yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Trying to come back here.
At least I got the shock on his face seeing you there.
I see Linda's asking me, she says, why didn't the giant just pick you up in his hand? I didn't want him to, Linda. I'm not that trusting that he wouldn't have just squashed me. So that was not on the table for me.
Accident.
Yeah, just accidentally.
I will love him and I will love you forever.
Or drop you or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and also when all this was happening, you were thinking that you needed an MRI. that maybe there was a brain tumor or something when it first.
Because of my nursing background and my chiropractic background, I see X-rays and MRIs all the time, or used to. I see them all the time. So that's a very normal thing for me to think that I'm going to see a tumor. So when all this was going on with me, I'm going, I know I have a tumor. I know I'm hallucinating. I need an MRI. And so most people go to the I'm crazy. I only tiptoed in there for a few minutes, but I just really thought I had a brain tumor and was hallucinating, because a lot of people who do have brain tumors are coming in and talking about their hallucinations or the things that they're seeing, and they're going, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is real. And that's what you immediately think of, that we need to get an MRI because they could possibly have a brain tumor.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me, actually. So, so, and then you were going to Solaris. I think Solaris was one of the first stars that you went to as a liaison. Is that right?
I think Earth was the first one, but probably Solaris. I don't remember the order, but Solaris would have been one that I was comfortable with, because I'd already been there before many times with my, not many times, but many times since then. That's a place I'm real comfortable with because of the Solaris Healing Center.
Yeah, someday I would love to go there with you if I haven't already. So I feel like let's talk about, just for one sec, because I want to, the gold ones. Weren't there some gold people or entities?
Yeah, the Monto, the person who taught me how to fly a spaceship, the very first extraterrestrial that showed up in front of me was a gold being, and so they're from the Solaris star, and those were gold beings. I mean, they were like the shimmery gold. There was absolutely beautiful coloring on their skin. And I remember thinking, because it was the first one that was standing in front of me. Now, I had met some extraterrestrials when I'm meditating and in my dream state and all those things, but this was the first one that showed up, that I'm sitting there on the couch awake, and there it is. And and so it was a gold being. And I remember the big thing was going, it's not wearing any clothes when I was walking through there. And then I went, why would you, if your skin's that pretty, why would you put anything on that skin?
Yeah.
When I painted him, it didn't transfer, unfortunately, but I used a gold glistening paint. And I feel that the color that it turned out in life is exactly how he looks and his people, right. and just didn't transfer.
Yeah, they're called the Solarians.
Yeah. Oh, right. Hello.
I guess I've never really heard of them, but I know them now that you started talking about them like this, because I've been with them many times. I see them on the light grid all the time.
Well, anyway. On their star, they are the healers, and they're also, they have the space program on their star, where it's a big area where they teach. So Monto was in charge of Spain, but he was to come over and teach me how to fly a spaceship. So he's the one that I spent so much time in the first book. That was where I spent most of my time, was with him teaching me different things.
I remember him, Monto. Yeah. He was very kind.
Yeah, a friend of mine, and y'all have all heard me talk about Meg, who's the one that supported me on my journey and was always telling me I was okay every time I would go talk to her. But she had my book on the first book, How I Learned to Fly a Spaceship. Her daughter was having surgery, and they were in the pre-op holding, getting ready for surgery. And she had the book with her, and the surgery had been delayed. So Meg started reading the book out loud to her daughter. Well, whenever her daughter went to surgery, a nurse came in and said, "My name is Monto." They all freaked out. I mean, we didn't hear this name, but all of a sudden, when she's getting on to surgery, there's a nurse named Monto, and Meg's going, "You're in this book. You're in this book."
Well, that was a sign. That was a good sign,
right?
And thank goodness you had them. So you started going through all this, and there were the women in the book club, or not book club, the bookstore, that were friends of yours in the metaphysical bookstore. So, and they really knew a lot about galactics, didn't they?
In the metaphysical bookstore here where I live now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They were very receptive of it. I haven't taken the second one to them yet, but yeah, they were very receptive, and they were just talking about how I was very needed in this area because people were having a lot of experiences here, and that they were glad that I came forward and said who I was, which, I never do that. I never tell anybody. I'm an introvert, so I'm not the one that's going to be out there introducing myself. I'm the one that slinks in and slinks out. But I did reveal myself to them, and they were excited that they have somebody to contact.
And then, do you want to talk about Yeshua, about Jesus in the Solaris Center? But was there something there?
Yeah, well, it wasn't just him, but he was there on the Solaris Healing Center. When you walk in, you have this blue light that's shining over everybody, and that's instantly healing everybody. It's calming the nervous system down for your own body to heal yourself. And you look in each room, and there's like a table. And it reminds me of, when I was in practice where we had a chiropractic table in every room. It kind of reminded me of that. And one person would be getting treated while people stood around and watched. So when you walk in, you're seeing this person on the table being treated. And I don't know who was being treated at that time, but Jesus was over here. There was angels over here, elephants, donkeys, all sorts of things were in there to get their own healing. And it is for, the angelic level, I guess, beings. It's their healing center that they allow me to bring down once a month. You and I do that show, this Solaris Healing Center,
Yeah.
bring that energy down to us. But I was very intimidated when I went in there because I stayed up against the wall because I'm looking at all these people who are just in awe of them. Then they're standing around getting their healing from the blue light, and we're all watching this person on the table being worked on. So that was pretty fascinating. But as I said, I was in awe and felt like I was out of my league. So,
No, there was a really good reason you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So then as time went on, you went to all these different, as an interplanetary liaison, you went to all these different planets and met all these different entities. Who were you most surprised by?
I think it was that amoeba when we came off the spaceship and I saw the amoeba and I'm going, what we're meeting, because I was not prepared on what to see. I didn't know if it was friendly or going to attack us. I didn't know if we needed to retreat back in the spaceship or go forward. That was probably my most shocking one, because when it moved, when it just slid across the ground, it was just really strange how it moved, like an amoeba or whatever is what I called it, the way it moved. And then, they lived actually in the lakes, just right under the surface of the lakes. They lived in there. So that to me was, I would say, interesting, but all of them were. I mean, running in that lightning was so scary. So they were all kind of different experiences that I was expecting to be an easy job. And it was not.
And that was another one I had a little difficulty with getting started, but then after we had checked in with each other for the 30th time or so, yeah. I remembered the movie The Blob and thought, oh, well, let's go back to the movie The Blob.
Yeah.
And, I think it was this one. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull it up.
Oh.
I tried to be a little bit more tech savvy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, what is that?
So,
yeah.
like you were saying, they spend part of their time in the water and then part of their time on land. And were they the ones that also went on vacation to an island?
No, that was Borgoff. That was the frog people.
Okay. I was impressed with the vacation for ETs because I never really thought about them going on vacation.
Yes.
That's when they come to visit us.
Right, Diana? Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's right. What do you think those guys on 3i Atlas are after?
That's exactly what I thought about Three Eye Atlas. Is they're on vacation. I thought that.
Exactly, right? The barnacles on the spaceship are starting to flake away, and we're going to see them soon. They're going to deliver us fermented asparagus and sauerkraut, and if you want gefilte fish, you can have gefilte fish.
Well, they cannot deliver at my house then.
Yeah, no gefilte, please. I've had enough.
You can skip me.
I'll take some herring. I wouldn't mind having my New Year's Eve herring.
Yeah. Oh no. German household. No. Limburger cheese and gefilte and everything.
Oh my God, my mother. Yeah, that was us.
Yeah. So I was really interested in the black beings in Inner Earth too.
The ant people.
Yeah, the ant
Oh
people.
no, was it the ant people or was it the black beings? The stick figures? Was that the stick
Yeah, the
figures?
stick figures. Were they similar to Easter Island, or was it like they felt very tribal to me?
Yeah, they were tribal, but I wouldn't say they were like Easter Island.
Okay,
I'm getting ready to cough. Hold on.
that's okay. I'm sucking on a cough drop, you guys. It's going around, and I started it.
Yeah.
Did you draw any pictures of those people, the stick people?
No, I did the ants, but we didn't do the sticks.
Okay, let me go find the ants.
It's almost like what you would say a shadow person is with those stick figures.
Okay.
Like
life.
like the walking stick.
Yeah.
Bugs. Kind of.
Well, no, they were human-like, but they just reminded me of stick figures, living stick figures.
Yeah, and here's the ant people, right? Yeah.
This was the queen in her chair.
Danny and I might be doing a show on them in a couple of weeks because they're very connected. And we're not there, but here on Earth, they're connected to the Hopis. They're the ones that made those tribes survive the floods, brought them into Earth. So I think we might be talking about those next week. Danny and I are on a show.
Awesome.
Oh, great. And she's talking about Danny Shea, you guys. So yeah.
And there's a picture, there's a whole chapter on Danny and I's adventure. Danny is now the infantry liaison. He has taken that job over.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
so,
he has that job. It took him a long time for him to admit it.
that he was doing it?
Yeah. It's taken him a long time. I keep pulling him along. Come on. But yeah, and you've got a picture of him where we went to one of the places together that she picture of Danny and I when we were getting into those pink crystalline, I called them coffins because I felt like we were going in a coffin.
It's very pink.
Yeah.
I see it.
A lot of pink in this picture.
Yes. And it was the first time that Danny was the one that jumped in and said, "Come on, Gail, get in." And I'm like, I was hesitating because I was always dragging him along, but he jumped in and he was ready.
There's a lot of crystal in this cavern.
Mm-hmm.
And angelics.
And it's beautiful the way you did it, Diana.
Thank you.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, you can really feel the crystalline energy.
Yeah. The coffins, I'm calling them the coffins, but these little ships that they were clear, they were like rose quartz, only clearer and pinker. So Danny in his flannel shirts, who doesn't know that's him? I sent him a message and said, you're in this book.
Oh yeah, Diane, you got me in trouble on that one. He called me. And he said, you didn't tell me you got that book.
That's it. He said, it's out already. I said, yeah, I can't. And it was a surprise, right? Because we didn't know it was going to come out that fast. It came out right after you had that last show with him. Yeah. So I was shocked, just like he was shocked.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorites too, with the dolphin and when you turn into a mermaid.
Yeah.
I thought
Which is
that
easy. It's easy for our Pisces Dr. Gail because she's already a mermaid. She was a professional swimmer or half professional, right?
yeah,
Well, I was competitive in triathlons.
There you go.
yeah, just a triathlete.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right, Teresa. Danny is the perfect for liaison diplomatic duties.
Yeah.
He's a whole lot better than I was at it. He's very much better at that job than me. And I tell him all the time.
Yeah, I can see him doing that. He's got just such an easygoing repartee all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
This was another one that I really loved too.
Yeah. This guy is, his chin is supposed to be touching the ground. I'm trying to make it longer the whole time I'm doing this, and it just keeps getting lost. And you can't see much of him if I did that. So
Oh yeah,
I worked on it where he's looking up to see her up in that spaceship.
wow, yeah, that was amazing. So just gorgeous. So let's talk about humans and our stench.
Humans what?
Humans and our stench. Being a stinky human and water, a big pail of water or a big water body. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They said that to me really early on about how they viewed humans as this, we're just a big bag of water. Well, there's so many things that they said to me that I felt inferior, offended. I wouldn't say offended, but it made me feel small. But realizing like months or years later, that's not what they meant at all. It was a lot of the things they were saying were complimentary, like you're so human, or you look human. So at first I took it as an insult, like they're making fun of me, and to find out later they were actually honoring that, or they were excited to be around it or to study that, especially because of our emotions. We're like in just seconds, and that's fascinating them. But yeah, they called us a big bag of water, and it made sense after I thought about it for a few weeks that we are mostly water. So why wouldn't they look at us as a big bag of water?
Yeah.
Which is so many of them are looking for.
What was that?
So many of them are in need of water.
Yes.
Oh, so that is a compliment. Yeah. My guides always say, Terry, you're so linear.
Yeah.
Like I just, think it's easy to do on this planet.
Right. And it's probably their sense of humor, but now we're on the other side of that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what did I do this time?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so used to it. It's funny. So were there a lot of humans around, or were you always singled out as one of the few?
Well, when I was on the first spaceship, the Astro Medical One, I was the only human looking one on there. And that spaceship was all hybrids, and we only worked on hybrids. And that's how I found out I was a hybrid, was on that spaceship. When the captain said, everybody who works on the spaceship is a hybrid. Everybody we work on is a hybrid. And I'm walking away, because I'm the only human, and I'm going, oh, wait a minute. That means I'm a hybrid. So that's how I found out that I was a hybrid that way. And then later on, my mother, who has passed, came to me and explained how it occurred, that they took her DNA, my dad's DNA, and Arcturian DNA, and mixed it. And that's how the hybrid. And the reason why they did that is she could not have children, and she was having trouble getting pregnant. So that was the agreement that she had made to allow them to do that, so she could have a child.
I've heard before. Oh, were you going to say something, Diana?
Well, this is another where I had a dream that was a crossover. This was when she and I first got together, and I had a dream, and they have taken me aboard the ship that she's working on, and they're giving me a tour of this. And there she is, and whomever it was that was guiding me said, and there's Dr. Gail. She's performing surgery right now. I think you know her. That was way back when we first got together.
And you said you saw a blue light coming.
Yep.
And I said that meant the surgery was about done.
Yep. Yep. And there was magenta around also, but that was like, I think you had an insignia on.
Yeah.
That was magenta.
So anyway, yeah, that was the only human on that spaceship. Sorry, Dirty Harry has come up here to visit me for some odd reason.
Aww.
Why she's come up to visit me? But she's here making a rare showing.
Hello, beautiful.
Yeah.
Kelly's asking if your illustrations came from the dream state, Diana.
Well, it came from my directions too.
Yeah. Yes.
script.
I mean, what I may have gotten in my dream still needed to coincide with what she got. So I would try to channel the difference between the two, and not all two look the same. You know, I mean, they certainly know when they're looking at somebody else. I mean, to me, they kind of have the same facial features until you start looking. Then you know, no, they don't all look the same. Everybody's got differences. We all have noses and eyes and mouths, but we all have differences. So the same thing is true with them. So part of it was my dreams, but mostly it was putting the two of them together. Like mine is the base of the form, and hers was the fine tuning.
Sometimes it gets a little difficult.
Yeah, like Borgoff. And Mount Mackey.
Why do you think they picked you, Gail?
Well, actually, I know why they picked me is because I said yes. That's the only reason. In fact, that's the reaction, because I just did an interview with Hayden Crawford, and he's going, "Why do you think they picked you, or why is that?" And I went, "Because I just said yes. When there is an extraterrestrial sitting in my car seat asking me if I would work with them, and I said yes. The next thing I knew, I was working with them, and I mean, he scooted me right over to what I was going to be doing." So that was just the only reason why. If I had not said yes, they would have just moved on to somebody else.
Do you think your cat travels with you now? And that's why they're there? Do you think your cat's traveling with you now?
Oh, yeah, both my cat and dog travel with me.
Yeah. Wow.
She's actually the energy controller of everything. So she's almost 17 years old now. So she's had a long life of a job.
Yeah. Gloria just turned 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So when we were talking about hybrids, does that go on like as an ancestral trait? Like, is it more predominant in some families?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
If you're connected with a certain family, like my mother was obviously connected with the Arcturians, and I didn't know that, but I just remember, waking up in the middle of the night, seeing my mother sitting in a chair, just staring off like she was meditating and not acknowledging that I was there. And she was obviously at that time communicating with them. I didn't know what was happening at that time.
So I just want to say to everybody out there, how many of us sat in school or, at home and just staring off like that?
Right.
For so many times. And where were we? a good phase of being like that. Do you want to say anything else about some of the different jobs that you've held?
Well, my next book's going to be about my next work, and that would be starting off with the next spaceship, which is the Athena, where I'm having a lot more responsibilities. And yeah. So and then I go off to another spaceship called the Alphabet. So I've been on 4 different spaceships.
Wow.
If y'all can see what she's doing right now, she's doing some acrobats.
She's ready to go, huh?
No, I don't know why she's up here visiting. She very rarely visits when I'm doing a show. Unless there's some issues with the energies, she might be here trying to control it.
Nice.
That could be. We did have an X-flare yesterday.
Yeah.
Mine like that with the flares.
do you feel like they give you messages? I mean, to give to the Earthlings? Like, is that something that you do now with your channel?
Well, they consider me the communicator between the seen and unseen, which is them and humans. I am the communicator and relaying messages all the time on my channel and talking to them about them, explaining what they're like and where they're coming from, and trying to decrease that fear that we have with them being around. We all think they're going to take over, attack us, which they have the ability to already done that if they wanted to. So I think that's what I'm doing, is just trying not to let people have a fear of aliens or extraterrestrials. And it's going to be a lot easier for us to accept them because they are already here. They're already among us in our families. And when they're going to start revealing who they are, and we're already going to be, they're already going to be involved or already in the families units being loved, and so it's going to be easier to accept them. And everybody who's in that kind of unit is also going to have kind of the same role I'm doing, as being the communicator between the seen and the unseen, and letting it eventually be the big reveal that we already know. We're already familiar with them in our families, and we're accepting it a lot easier. And the hybrid program and everything is kind of beneficial for both of us, and this is the survival of both species. We always think of these abductions and things like that, getting our DNA, is just the survival for the extraterrestrials. It's also the survival of the humans.
Yeah, we've benefited greatly, all the technology and whatnot. So, yeah, and crystalline energy. Do you feel like do you have one message in particular that you would want to share with everybody today?
Just open your hearts. Start moving from your mind or your brain to your heart. And so whenever you're exposed to one or exposed to something like that, you can feel it from your heart instead of going straight to your head and thinking, oh, what is that? I'm afraid of it. Try to move to your heart and see how it feels. And if it feels good, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do want to make I want to make or talk about this, how to start this. On Amazon, I'm needing to get more reviews. And so what I have decided is to do a drawing, which I've got names in this little class here, that is people who have already done reviews, and more people who do reviews. And you can go into this class more than once if you do a review on both books. And the drawing on December 12th, 12/12, I will pull out a name and I will give a free reading, a free 30-minute reading. So everybody who goes on Amazon and does a review on the books, your name will go into this glass jar, and then I will pull one out on 12/12, and that person will get a free 30-minute reading.
And I just want to mention that the book is on Amazon, How I Met an Alien, and all about aliens. And also it's available as a Kindle as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So book form and Kindle form. But yeah. I would get this because then you get all of Diana's beautiful illustrations.
Well, yeah, and you can put in a review for each book, and I'll be putting your name in twice.
Yeah.
So that's a free 30-minute reading.
So How I Learned to Fly a Spaceship and How I Met an Alien.
Yes.
Yeah. So come on by, guys, and buy one. And Diana, do you have anything else that you want to share?
Well, I think I have two favorite from the book, two favorite paintings that I did. The first one, I fell in love with all of them as I'm doing them, of course. But the first one that I fell in love with is Gail's dad. He had to be sitting on the park bench. I think he's the very second picture. I think he's the second picture.
Oh, that one?
No, the last one. Sorry, the last picture on the top.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Because here comes Matke. She's getting ready to sit down, and Gail's like, "What?" And her dad's just sitting there grinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is okay with me.
Yeah, I just couldn't understand why he was allowing her to sit next to me, and he was acting like nothing was happening. And I'm going, this strange being is sitting down next to me, and then she started talking, and he still wasn't doing anything. I just couldn't figure it out.
Oh, what a beautiful memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you want me to pull any of the others up then?
Yes, my other favorite one is with the gnomes.
Yeah.
And Moon. There, yeah, that one. Well, gosh, and then the praying mantis turned out great also.
Yeah. Oh, that is spectacular.
I love painting gnomes to begin with, and I'm getting more familiar with Moon as a what do you
A Yeti or
yeah, I wanted to call her Bumble because Bumbles bounce. That's not right.
Yeah.
That's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And because this was the very first alien that I had seen when I was 4 years old, about to turn 5, or maybe I had just had my 5th birthday. It's summer. I'm sitting on the porch, and I turn, and sitting there, not too far away from me, is a praying mantis being. And he's crouched down, and he's taller than me as he's crouched down. So when he stood up, he was even taller, of course, but still not so overpowering my own height that I would be frightened of him. The only difference with my guy was that his body was the color of a lubber grasshopper, which is that beautiful indigo blue with yellow chevron stripes running through it, through the abdominal area and a little over the back where the wings get tucked in. So this is a character that's very familiar to me. Not only do they come to me as insects here, which always make me feel that they are sending me a message from the beyond, because really they are from the beyond. So those are things that I can really relate to because they've been in my life as well.
I love that. Love that. Well, thank you both so much for being here. Do you want to say anything else, Gail?
No, yeah, thanks everybody, and thanks for your support for with me on this journey, which I never would have dreamed that I would be working with extraterrestrials or be on YouTube or writing books. So everybody, thanks for your support. Thanks, Diana, and thanks, Terry, for your support, and all the moderators and everybody who's been supporting me through everything or through all this whole journey.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to be with you, Gail and Diana. And it's an honor to be with everyone else here today, too. Hey, Kelly. So, Patricia, everybody have a great evening, and we will see you on the next book coming shortly.
Oh, not shortly, and it will be coming.
Right. And thank you for trusting me, Gail.
Yes, all right.
Okay, we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.